Yeah, we are live, ladies and gentlemen.
But it don't feel the same. I've been drowning slow in a silver sea. Every ghost in the glass look just like me. Don't know what I lost, can't find what's true. But the sound keep calling, I'm coming through. Give me something I can feel. Like the sky just so I can feel. There's God in a wire, let it spark for me. Send a sign through the noise I breathe. Give me something I can heal. Something realer than the way I feel. If there's God in a wire, let it speak for me. I've been waiting on a heart that beats. Glass of codeine in a crystal cup. Love turned ash when it flamed too much. I've been rich, I've been lost, I've been both at once. Still the mirror keep asking what I want. Penthouse view, but the sky looked dead. Whole world turns off when I lay my head. Got angels and Prada, demons and fur. They all sing loud, but the words still blur. If I fall, then I just play that song. The one that says we ain't here long. Static can still be true. Give me something I can feel. Like the sky just so I can feel. If there's God in the wire, let it spark for me. Send a sign through the noise I breathe. Give me something I can hear. Something realer than the way I did. If there's God in the wire, let it speak for me. I've been waiting on a heart that be, yeah. Smoking a halo, voice in the static. God in the wire, still automatic.
Yeah, y'all already know.
White noise filling up.
Y'all already know. Y'all already know. What's Gucci, man? What's Gucci? How's everybody feeling? I hope everybody's feeling good. What are we gonna have as our background music? Come on, where's Tupa's mixtape? We're gonna Alien Radio. Let's see what we got here. Who remember this? Oh, who remember this?
Look at me now, I'm not fake, my bones are real. Look at me now, don't give a damn how Ryan feels. You didn't love me when
I think you didn't take me out of my case. What happened? What the fuck?
it took faith. You never took me out of my case. You thought I was made of llama bones. Now you can't leave me alone. You saw right through me in the X-rays. Metal implant on my chest. You thought the one was was my brain. Waited 1,000 years for this. Look at me now, I'm not fake, my bones are real. Yeah. Look at me now, don't give a shit how Ryan feels. Yeah. You didn't love me when it took faith. You never took me out of my case. You thought I was made of llama bones. Now you
can't leave me alone.
You saw right through me in the X-rays. Metal implant on my chest. You thought a llama skull was my brain. Waited 1,000 years for this.
Shout out my guy Super coming up with some bangers. But he got the UFO mixtape. That's what I wanted to put on in the background. Alright. It's not a playlist. Let's go to home. Oh shit. Whatever. It's UFO summer. Let's see. I should have just left. Cabra. UFO summer. Mixtape. Bang. Popped right up. All right. All right. Before we get into that, right? I want to get into this real quick. Dan Bilzerian. This was a full TMZ. I put this conversation is worth having. I literally only seen a clip about it, so I haven't watched this. We're about to react to it at the same time. So let's get a big screen here and let's start this off.
Why you've pivoted here and decided to run?
I just don't feel like anybody in government is doing what is in the best interest of Americans, and I feel like they are doing what is in the best interest of themselves, and you see that with Trump. I feel like every decision that Trump makes is based on what is best for him and his ego.
So you were somewhat vocally a supporter of President Trump in the past. When did that change?
Well, I think when he lied about every single thing that he said that he was running for, right? Like, this is not America first. It's been Israel first. And he just has broken promise after promise.
And that's true, man. That's true. I didn't vote for Trump or nothing, none of that. But everything he said he was gonna do, he's done the opposite of. I haven't seen no America first shit. So people like him have a right to be angry.
That to me is really the crux of the issue. Like, in my friend group, if you lie one time, your word is gone. It's shot. Nobody trusts you. And I've watched Trump lie to us over and over and over again. I mean, what did this idiot tell us? He said that we had already won the war. He told us that we had complete air superiority, that we could just fly anywhere we wanted. What did they do? They shot 3 of our planes down. Everything about this war has been a complete failure. And then he completely capitulated and accepted every single one of Iran's terms. I mean, he is going to allow them to have full control of the Strait of Hormuz. Not that he had a choice, but he's lifting all sanctions. We're paying them reparations. He's lifting all sanctions from anybody that was supporting Iran. We have to remove all troops from the area. And I mean, if you look at the 10 points, it's everything that Iran wanted.
Well, I mean,
Facts. That's just facts. That's just facts.
and all that is being negotiated still, but
they're allowed to enrich uranium, and they don't have to allow nuclear inspections now. So what did we accomplish?
I will say, I think it's hard to argue with a single point you just made. I think a lot of people, frankly, myself included, agree with you on that. There's another element to this, which is Israel, and you mentioned Israel. And you are, you
The third rail. Seriously, fuck all this anti-Semitic, racist shit. Like, there's a saying, I forgot who originated it, but it's look at who you can't criticize, and you'll know who is, your overlord. You'll know who's in charge. And Israel, you can't say anything about Israel, man. Anything. If it's not, well, they're the best country in the world, and you say, I don't like this or that, and there's horrible shit that you can find the videos of. Like, these people were going crazy because they locked up a fucking soldier for raping a motherfucker. And they were mad about that. Son, like, how do you... Let's continue.
seem to view Israel as the enemy here. Could you explain?
Well, I mean, they're a terrorist nation. They were founded by terrorists, and they've been committing terrorism since their inception. I mean, and prior to their inception, they bombed the King David Hotel. They poisoned Palestinian wells. I mean, they've been a disaster. I mean, the Haganah, the Irgun, and the Stern Gang is what comprised the IDF, and those were all designated terrorist organizations. So, and the leaders of those organizations went on to become prime ministers of Israel. So, this is a country that was founded on terror.
And you're not allowed to say that. Saying that is like somehow like, oh my God, it's taboo.
Terrorism. They've been committing terrorist attacks. They've been committing a genocide, and we're paying for it to our own detriment. And they're dog walking us into wars. So, yeah, I don't know how you could ever view them as an ally. They've attacked U.S. warships. I mean, I don't know if you're aware of the different false flag attacks that they've committed, but it's been numerous. The Lavon affair. I mean, they bombed U.S. cinemas and British cinemas and libraries, trying to blame that on the Muslim Brotherhood. So,
Dan, I'm sorry, I just wanted to, because I know that some of the things you're talking about, and those are theories that are out there that are not.
Theories. That's crazy. Like, this is documented stuff that has been done.
No, this is not debated.
Look, there's I don't want to spend the time kind of getting into that, because believe me, there's a big response to what you just said. The bigger thing to me is that you don't seem to have a problem with Israel, just Israel. You seem to have a problem with Jews.
Well, I mean, that's a ethnocentric state, and it's being run by Jews.
Well, that's okay, but hold
disagree.
on. Let's talk about the Jews in the United States, not in Israel.
Okay.
You
So
called
against Randy Fine.
you called your opponent this fat Jew. So he's not from Israel, but you called a guy in Florida this fat Jew. How is that not anti-Semitic?
Well, he's a Jewish supremacist, and he puts Israel before America, and I think that he should be tried for treason.
This fat Jew is anti-Semitic.
Yes.
Dan.
I mean, that's what you say, but how about
that's
every single time
that's what I
Muslims?
know. I don't say
Well,
it. I know
he
it.
literally talks about how Muslims are lower than dogs. So is that Islamophobic?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is. And that wouldn't be, that's not appropriate for him to say either. If he had said that.
But he does all the time, and he tweets that, and he's a senator.
Are you anti-Semitic?
No, I'm not anti-Semitic. I think that, that's kind of a made-up term. I think the Palestinians are the real Semites.
Term?
Yes, because if you look at what a Semite
was
is...
Was Hitler anti-Semitic?
What's that?
Was Hitler anti-Semitic?
Like I said, it's the term is focused solely on Jews, but actual Semites are the Arabs, and Palestinians are Semites as well, and they actually have more DNA lineage to that region than any of the Eastern European Ashkenazi Jews that have taken it from them. So, I kind of have issue with that term and how it's been hijacked to only talk about Jews.
So if you want to call it anti-Jewish, then you can call it anti-Jewish.
Well, I'm not going to call this anti-Jewish. When you say that this fat Jew, you could take another race and you could.
He's hanging on that shit hard.
Use another epithet, but you're anti-Semitic, Dan.
I'm not. I have Jewish friends.
Oh, some of your best friends are Jewish?
I don't paint all Jews with one brush, but he paints all Muslims with one brush, and it's accepted. And for some reason in this country, it is okay to just blast Muslims, bash them. You look at what Bill Maher said about Muslims. I mean, it's this double standard, and I don't like the double standard. And I look at him as a Jewish supremacist. He believes that Jews are better than other people, and he puts Israel before America. And so I have huge problem with that.
So if you've got a black friend that you don't like, do you use the N-word on him?
No, I don't.
Well, then what's the difference when you use the word fat Jew for a Jew you don't like?
Well, is Jew the same as because that is not that's not, one is a slur, right? And one is describing a religion. So you can't compare the two.
Really?
There's a way
how can you compare those two?
There's a way you say it, Dan, that the intent is the same.
It's not the same at all.
Here. So
one is a slur, one is a racial slur that I don't use, and the other one is describing an ethnicity.
You just used it.
Well, are we adults? Can we talk about a word? Was a word so offensive that that it just you can't say it? We have to say
the answer to that is yes.
So I want to ask a question.
People are too sensitive.
Dan, I know you I mean, people are sensitive, but if you're really going to run for Congress, you're going to face these questions on the campaign trail. You're going to face it in debates. And you have lived your life in a way that clearly those things are going to be brought up. As we're talking
That's
to
fine.
you, I realize you have lots of money and that, spending it on this campaign, it may be fine for you. I'm just curious that you're running in Florida as a Republican and you are anti-Trump and clearly, I'll say anti-Jewish, because you don't like the term anti-Semite, but you're clearly anti-Jewish, anti-Trump, running in Florida as a Republican. It doesn't add up like you really...
So this is where their thinking comes to light. So for them, if you're a Republican, you have to hold certain type of values. Like you have to think like this. You're not what he said. You're not pro-Trump. You're not pro-Israel. So how are you a Republican? That's really what he's asking. That's really what he's asking. And you know what? He did say the word, but they're having a conversation about the words, and even a bigger thing is that they didn't beep out the word fucking Jew. They didn't beep out Jewish. He said fat Jew several times, and they didn't bleep that out. But he said the N-word, and they had to bleep it out. You tell me.
Have a chance to win this. Why would you throw yourself into this race with all that against you?
So I don't like racism. I don't like supremacist mindset. And I think that's exactly what you have with Randy Fine. And I am against everything that he stands for. I don't like putting a foreign nation before America. Look, I don't want to be a congressman. I don't want to be in government. I want to be free diving on a beach.
You're running for Congress.
Because nobody's doing it. Our country's being run by pedophiles. Like nobody's operating the best interests of America. And so if nobody's going to step up and do it, and everybody's frustrated, everybody's like talking about it, but nobody's actually doing anything. So I feel like I'm in a unique position because I have a following and I am not affected by money, and I don't care about being in office. And I think the people that are going to be the best government leaders are the people that don't want to do it but feel obligated to do it, or do it because they want what's best for America. And that's what we need. Everybody else gets into office and says, oh, what can I get from this? How can I get rich? How can I help myself? How can I help my donors? And it should be it should be a selfless act. This should be like, more selfless than joining the military. I mean, because I was in the military for 4 years, and I didn't join the military as a selfless act. I did it because it was my best option. I'm doing this because I want to help the country.
Okay. All right. Well, I've never heard someone announce they're running for Congress and say, I don't want to be a congressman. But,
These people, they're just trying to paint them in a bad light. I'm going to keep it 100. I don't have too much of a grudge with what he said. I don't think Dan Bilzerian is racist. I don't think he's racist at all. So, yeah. UFO Summer, ladies and gentlemen.
I know you will, girl, you got that fire. I'll never tell, no beyond desire. I'm in the desert, babe.
Oh, this was interesting.
Can you see?
Oh, I didn't mean to.
I'll make it rain. Paper chasing, too much in the fire.
Paper chaser.
Never sleeping on the wire.
Hey, this Jones and Bob. So, bring this down a little bit more. All right. So we got the 4 most commonly reported alien types. Oh, God damn it. Hey, yo, if y'all want to donate, you got the link right here. All right. All right. So let's check this out. The 4 most commonly reported alien types. And we can already tell we got the mantids, the grays, tall whites, and the reptilians. Or the Nordics. Sorry, not tall whites. He is tall and white, but Nordics. Nordics and reptilians. So let's see. We got grays, most commonly reported alien type. 3 to 4 foot tall, with large black almond eyes, gray skin, and oversized heads. These beings are allegedly artificial versions of biological beings moving at an almost robotic way. These beings are seen as workers. Now, hold on. So peg me later. Please don't shave your legs. Hey yo, this nigga bugging. So when we look at the tridactyl mummies of Peru. Yep, there we go. Now, this is great right here. These right here are bodies created to look like the mummies. These are not real. These are the real ones here. Oh shit. Wow, that's not a good picture. But there was some fake ones. And this is what the fake ones look like. They're saying here, you know the differences. Yeah. So look at these fucking things. This is the bodies that were found. This is the small ones. Look at this fucking face. The large almond-shaped eyes, small nose, small mouth, small stature. And something that I think is real is the robotic movement I think the robotic movement also lends itself. Oh, hold on, I gotta plug this joint in. Also lends itself to how their body is. They don't seem to have, like, their joints are different, so they might move differently. Look at the hands, pterodactyl hands. Nordics, described as human-like beings with long blonde hair, blue eyes, psychic ability, and height of 7 to 8 feet tall. Report claims they are benevolent spiritual guides from the Pleiades, known for sharing messages about humanity's future and environmental concerns. Reptilians, massive humanoid beings with reptilian skin and features, often said to be shapeshifters living in underground bases. In Indian mythology, there are beings called Naga, who are described as reptilian beings of high intelligence. Some believe they've influenced human civilization since antiquity. Manta insectoid, towering 7 to 8 feet insectoid beings with triangular heads and large compound eyes. Often reported as incredibly smart and or telepathic, they are often seen during abductions, where they play a kind of leadership role. Who we got here?
About mythos.
Whoa. Delete your search history, delete your bookmarks, delete your Reddit, medical records, 12-year-old Tumblr, delete everything. Every photo on the cloud, every message on every platform, none of it is safe. It will all be public in the next year. Local storage and compute.
Okay. It's in response to a tweet about mythos.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It would all become public in the next year. That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And this
But
is
it completely makes sense that AI would be able to take over essentially everything.
everything.
Why would your encryption work with that? You don't think it could crack your encryption?
Well,
We could just go right into your computer and go to your keys, your passwords.
this is so to get to what the point.
AI is gonna either help humanity move forward or destroy us. That's a hell of a quote. I'm gonna do that. AI will help humanity evolve or help it destroy itself. Probably one or the other. Ryan Bledsoe.
Day. It's not that I don't, it's a mystery. The whole thing's a mystery. If I told you I knew everything, I'd be lying for sure. Nobody knows what we're dealing with. The biggest mystery to me is when that vision I saw is going to happen. A certain
Be right back,
vision
guys.
they gave me, and that was when they came into this world in mass numbers at once. And that was the catastrophic disclosure, and I saw it happen. Right? We can change our course, and this is what the lady said. You want Armageddon, you can get it. You want aliens, you can get that. You want peace and love and happiness, well, you can get that too. It's whatever we're looking for. So for the next 40 or 50 years, that's all of a sudden everybody sees flying saucers, right? That's all you see. Before that time, in the 1800s, the first UFO sighting in America was, that I know of, was in 1897 in Aurora, Texas, and it was a ship flying in the sky. Skyship. In London, they were seeing wooden sailing vessels with glowing sails flying over London, snagging chimneys with anchors and breaking the chimneys off. It was all over Europe, sky ships for years. Then it turned into flying saucers. 2007, 20 years later, that's all we're seeing is orbs. Where'd the flying saucers go?
Yeah, right.
Right?
Right.
So we're not dealing with what we think we're dealing with. We're dealing with something so masterful that it mimics anything. It mimics drones. It mimics 747s. I've seen these things, an orb turn into an airplane and fly away. Wings pop out, lights start flashing, blinking, then there it goes. Same with helicopters. I've seen them look just like helicopters.
A recurring characteristic of these beings is their ability to morph into different forms, appearing differently depending on witnesses. They blend in with the environment, mimicking everyday objects or even atmospheric phenomena. Prophecy of the Red Star. Chris Bledsoe's encounters with the Lady, a divine feminine presence, revealed a profound vision. Humanity stands on the threshold of awakening, not to destruction but to new knowledge. The catalyst? A celestial event where Regulus, normally a blue-white star, appears blood-red as it aligns with the gaze of Egypt's Great Sphinx at dawn. The living timeline. Originally pinpointed to Easter 2026 via NASA astronomical models, the prophecy's timeframe now appears fluid. Some suggest the alignment window opened as early as March 26, or that the shift is already underway since 2024. As with all cosmic prophecies, the event matters more than the exact phenomenon. These entities defy conventional UFO classifications, describes them as mimics, manifesting as aircraft, helicopters, or even clouds to camouflage among us. Interdimensional, phasing between physical light and ephemeral forms. The core revelation. This is about consciousness evolution, a global transition from conflict-driven paradigms to harmonized awareness. The Red Star alignment symbolizes not an ending but a recalibration. When humanity sees what watches them, the veil dissolves. Whether the alignment peaks in 2026 or unfolds gradually, the imperative remains: observe the skies, but more critically, prepare the mind. The revolution won't be televised.
I mean, the thing with Bledsoe is that, this is his interpretation of what he's seen. He's a religious person, so he's gonna come with a religious view on whatever he saw. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the lady told him Jesus will return, but if the lady popped up and it was a Muslim guy, she would probably told him Muhammad is gonna return. You understand what I'm saying? Breaking. First Lady Melania Trump publicly calls on Congress to act on the Epstein situation. Now is the time for Congress to act. Epstein was not alone. I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein a public hearing, specifically centered around Survivor. Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the powers of sworn testimony. Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public if she wishes, and then her testimony should be permanently entered into congressional record. You know what? Yes. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Hold on, son. What the fuck? There you go. You gotta give her a quick share. Listen to this retired IDF soldier talk. One of the soldiers raped a 16-year-old girl. I put Palestinians in a cage and killed them. We chased villagers with flamethrowers and set them on fire. If I saw children with their hands raised, I shot them in the hand. Wow. I shot and killed everyone I saw. It's impossible for me to count. What? The events that took place in Tantura were crazy and terrifying. Tantura was a wealthy town that had beautiful houses. You motherfuckers know how to read, man.
בתים יפים, גרים כמו אירופאים, אתה יודע, וגם הנשים היו לבושות ויפה, ובאמת היה כפר.
You see that? They were living like Europeans. They were living like Europeans. Do you understand? That means they weren't radical. They're telling you right there they were just living regular. They weren't, on some old bullshit like people think. They weren't rubbing sticks. You know what I'm saying? In the fucking desert like people tend to think.
אתה יודע, וגם אנשים היו יכולים
The
לבגוד ויפה,
women of the town used to wear beautiful clothes. Really, this town.
וזה באמת היה כפר אחד, אנס
Wow.
שם איזה ילדה בת 16, משהו כזה. אתה מבין? אבל זה מכוער מאוד, היה לנו בחור אחד, הוא נפטר, הוא היה פרא אדם, הוא לקח פשוט מאוד, ורצח אותם בתוך המכלאות. בתוך המכלאות, הם היו במכלאות, אתה יודע, חוטי ברזל כאלה, עגולים כאלה, אספו כל הגברים. הם יושבים שם, כולם, על הרצפה, ובא מישהו ולוקח תת מקלע ומתחיל זה, מחליף מחסנית, מה אתה חושב זה? אבל אנחנו לא היינו כאלה. הוא היה יוצא דופן, הבחור הזה, כן, מה שהוא עשה. והשתיקו את הדבר הזה, והיו חבר'ה שלקחו את הלוויורים, ורדפו אחרי חבר'ה ושרפו אותם. זה היה משהו זוועתי, וזה אסור לספר, אני לא אדבר על זה, כי זה יכול להיות סקנדל שלם מהעניין הזה. אני לא רוצה לדבר על זה, וזהו.
ב3-4 חודשים הראשונים הייתי רוצח.
מה זה אומר?
אני לא לקחתי שבויים. בזמן קרב, אם מישהו הרים ידיים, משהו כזה, לא לקחתי שבויים. זה זעזע אותי עד כדי כך, לא יכלתי לעבור לסדר היום. אם היה עומדת כיתה של זה עם ידיים למעלה, אז באותו יום הייתי רואה אותי, הייתי קוצר את כולם, עד כדי כך.
כמה אתה חושב אנשים הרגת ככה?
לא ספרתי. אני לא יכול לדעת בחיי. היה לי מקלע עם 250 כדורים. תראה, יריתי, נלחמתי כולם. אני לא יכול לספור.
And then you wonder why those people wanted to kill them all. And you wonder why. What the fuck is with this? So yeah, this guy's gonna win.
The word is Meathwig2 Slug Buck E+.
Can you give me the country of origin, please?
Yes, of course. The country of origin is none other than Canada.
Can you give me the definition, please?
A single word used to describe every minority group ever conceived, including several that are still pending approval.
Mish Wig2 Slug Bupku Ia E+. Can you use it in a sentence?
You are not a member of the Maywig2 Slug QQEA plus community, therefore we will not be hiring you for this position.
Me Wig 2 Slug Baku EA plus MMIWG 2 SLG BT QQIA plus.
That is correct. You are this year's National Spelling Bee champion. Congratulations. JD, if you spell this word correctly.
Water.
Did you see they did release a list of footage that they've been shown that they want released. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, dude. I'm sorry, Jamie. Can you, it's like a list of, I don't know. I think it's one of these senators who saw this shit in a skiff or whatever saying, we want these released, but they're the names of what each of these are.
Found the letter that was submitted, signed by Rep. Anna Luna.
What does it say? This is the disclosure threat?
46 different requests.
Oh yeah, this is all the names of the things.
And I'll switch to here. I found an article where someone's breaking down what some of these are, but some of these are...
I like it says the Honorable Pete Hegseth.
Multiple spherical UAP in and out of water.
Whoa.
Shoots down UAP over Lake Huron. I don't know if they have to turn these videos over, but this guy was also saying in this article here that these are very specifically requested videos.
Because they've been shown, these are the ones they've been shown that blew their minds, and now they're saying show it to everybody.
And they're asking for high res, in color. They don't want to be tricked.
Right.
High resolution.
So this could be an interesting next week, man.
That could be interesting. That could be interesting. Trump cusses out Israel.
But Israel violated it too. Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
He is pissed off. This should have been your stance from the rip, my man. Now you look crazy. One story of many. Trump started a war to distract from all this. Wake up. I'm sure. I don't like agreeing with TJ, but I'm sure. Oh, check this out.
Today, Brazil, in our hemisphere, largest country in the Western Hemisphere south of us, cut a trade deal with China. They're going to, from now on, do trade in their own currencies, get right around the dollar. They're creating a secondary economy in the world, totally independent of the United States. We won't have to talk about sanctions in 5 years because there'll be so many countries transacting in currencies other than the dollar that we won't have the ability to sanction them. Today, Brazil, in our hemisphere, largest country in the Western Hemisphere south of us, cut a trade deal with China. They're going to, from now on,
Bitcoin is doing what it was supposed to do. Yeah. 9 scientists have died in the span of 27 months following a pattern. That is interesting. Oh, first trailer for The Punisher, one last kill. Let's see.
How you doing, bro? Talk to me.
You know what? He has been a great Punisher. I'm not gonna lie. He's probably...
What's going on?
You think God's gonna forgive us for the things we've done? I'm not sure about me. But you ain't got a fucking chance.
Oh shit.
That's all you got? That's all you got? That's all you got?
You don't fuck with the Punisher. That looks tough. Okay. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? When you take out the trash at night and it's low-key majestic as fuck. Yeah. It'd be like that sometimes. Yeah. So let's get back to the psionic level. Back. Hold on. Joe Rogan and Duncan Trussell watched the Syria 2021 UAP video with instant acceleration.
That bird's going really fast.
No, that's definitely not a bird.
How fast is it going?
I don't know. I asked him that, and I don't. It's unknown. I don't know. This is where it gets really cool.
It gets cooler than this?
Yeah.
Oh, they zoom in on it?
Yeah.
Whoa. Well, they're having a hard time zooming in on it.
Well, because
it's evading them.
Yeah, it just zipped away. So this is like.
So it seems like they have some sort of a tracking system.
Yeah, they're trying to lock onto it, and it's doing that thing that they do where it seems like it's kind of playing with it.
Well, it seems to be aware that they're locking onto it.
Yeah, and then they lock onto it, and then it just does this little blip away. It's just like, see you later. So right around here, you'll see it go bye-bye. Oh, yeah, look at that. Then you can see this like weird jellyfish shape to it. It's got two parts. It's got that weird glob at the top and something at the bottom.
Huh.
And then...
Are we sure that's not just a distortion of space-time around it
he
that makes it look
described this to me on my podcast. Did you see that thing zip away?
Yeah, it just took off.
He described it to me on my podcast. We talked about all this shit. It's like...
Look at that. It just took off.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
Wow, dude. What do you think that is?
No idea.
If you had to guess.
So I mean, I'm always like maybe some kind of plasma thing.
Right, like maybe we're thinking of a life force being comes in a metal ship and it's a little alien guy, but maybe intelligence is made out of plasma.
Yeah, or maybe it's like Terrence McKenna would always talk about like if you're seeing things in like 3-dimensional space, then your view is limited. But if somebody could see things from higher dimensions, they would seem like they were magic. Like they would seem like they could disappear and reappear other places. So maybe that's like just the tip of some kind of interdimensional thing poking into reality, then pulling out of reality, or who knows? Right. It easily could be functioning on levels of reality that we haven't even quantified yet.
Imagine if there really is some sort of ghost murmur device that could find your heart rate from 40 miles away. What can that thing do? It just gets a scan of the general psyche of the Earth and it disappears.
Yeah.
So I want to see how crazy they are right now. Okay, pretty crazy. Bye.
Right. a weather report of like the emotional states of the planet.
The vibe of the planet.
They're
Because the
freaking
vibe
out.
of the planet is completely connected to the consciousness on the planet.
The way we can detect oxygen, they can detect anger.
Yes.
They're just
Deception, chaos.
Yeah, it's a chaos planet.
We are a chaos planet, 100%, dude.
Yeah, it is.
100%. Look at our favorite sports. Dudes running at each other, colliding into each other.
That's true. We love combat sports. We love watching violence happen.
An aerial phenomenon.
This is why they keep the cover-up for this sixth observable. Travis Walton was tested on. People are being taken against their will. Military personnel are being attacked with microwave weapons, hurting their brain on the inside. Kind of like mine was when I
Este cabrón es del monte, ¿verdad? I think Nick Fuentes says some dumb shit. However, this edit goes hard. Oh boy, let's see.
They say anti-Semitism is out of control. We don't feel safe in the city. And then they go, you're right, we do run the media. We're going to crush you. Just like with the Muslims. It's Bismillah, Islamophobia, everyone's attacking us. And they go, we are here, and we're in Times Square, and you can't do a fucking thing about it. And that's why Christians need to say, no more gaslighting. I want a Roman salute from everybody, a Roman salute to our Caesar, a Roman salute to our church. Hail Christ! Hail Christ! Hail Caesar! Hail Rome! Okay, this is the new Rome, bitch. And we're taking Muslims by their thobe and all their goofy shit, and we're taking Jews by their yarmulke, and we gotta flick them back out to the Middle East. Get the fuck out of here. This is a new Rome, bitch.
Yo, you put some dramatic music on shit, and automatically it's like this super hard shit. I'm highly intrigued by the notion that the chandelier UFO may not simply be an oddly shaped craft in ordinary sense, but the projected shadow, lower dimensional expression, or visible slice of something extending beyond the three-dimensional frame we are used to interpreting. We are seeing the object itself, or only the portion of something larger intersecting our perpetual science. That idea is undeniably speculative, but it's also exactly the kind of shit. That's a lot to read, brother. But yeah, why not? If something is dimensional, by definition, if it comes from a higher dimension, then we're not gonna see all of it. It's the same with a shadow. A shadow is a lower dimension. A shadow lives in flatland. It's always flat. It's always flat to whatever surface is shining. The light is shining on the opposite side of. What is this?
This rogue, apartheid, genocidal, maniac, serial killing, pathologically lying state, isolated, shame anyone who goes there. Academics, celebrities, politicians, and they've been exposed for what they are. And Zionism's on its last leg. It only exists by the weight of its propaganda, and that propaganda's collapsed entirely. The world sees Israel for what it is, and it can't last for long in its current state. You cannot expect change in a society this far gone. It is full-throated fascist. And that's why they act the way they do, with full, total impunity, because they have no humanity left.
You know, some would say that's true. I own an entire production company and have years of experience in viral marketing. Damn Blitzer, my services are yours completely free of charge. Oh shit. He's gonna win, bro. He's gonna win. You good? Breaking. Huge U.S. troop buildup in the Middle East. 50,000 troops across the Middle East. Thousands of Marines are being rapidly transferred from San Diego straight into the region. This is coming from Reuters. Yeah, all they wanted was these 2 weeks to get ready to fight more. Yo, it's crazy. U.S. is sending 50,000 troops to the Middle East, but they don't want war.
I'm gonna say what's up.
Yeah, just they're gonna say how's everybody doing? They go, hey, we're here for dinner. Coming over for dinner, nigga. ¿Tú te vas?
Yeah, I'm gonna go holler at you real quick.
Tá bem. The fact that we all know exactly what he's talking about. Uh-oh.
Somebody should. Somebody should. You know? Somebody should what? I don't know. Neither do you, right? None of us know anything. We don't know fucking anything. But somebody should, though. If
What the fuck ever. Oh. Let's see.
There are 8 billion people on this planet. And mortal combat is upon us.
If we lose one more time, the Earth is gone.
Johnny Cage. This is a war to the fate of your world.
I hope your ancestors are watching.
Oh shit, let's go. Mortal Kombat!
You wanna know my power? I am Johnny Cage.
Oh, whip. Let's go! Yeah!
Damn. Remember, if you fell, the earth falls with you.
Oh,
Uno mas, thanks, Ed. Sub-Zero.
I am reborn.
Oh, new Cybot. That was tough. That's tough. He should do that move in the game. Published by Steve Sund, a private researcher. According to his testimony, these photos were obtained from the Vatican Apostolic Archives through an information leak. It said that someone stole these top-secret photos from a special repository in the Holy See. It is known that the Vatican possesses the chronovisor. This is all AI shit, son. Yeah, this is all AI shit. It's all bullshit, son. Argentina had just put its glaciers up for sale and lost control of its largest freshwater reserve. Mali's government has approved its new glacier law, and with this, they enable mining in protected areas that can now exploit, pollute, and sell the country's most valuable natural resources.
137 votos afirmativos, 137 votos afirmativos, 111 negativos, 3 abstenciones.
Resulta afirmativo. Queda sancionado el proyecto. Se harán las comunicaciones correspondientes.
Why are they celebrating this? I don't understand that. You're selling off. You know what? That's y'all country. I'm vibing over here. Do whatever you want. Oh, man. Mortar calling the Shire.
Talk to me, baby. Let me feel it. I don't want you to go. So don't. Throwing firecrackers at my toes. Ooh. I just took my last breath.
Oh, shit.
Anybody who ever starts a statement with "as a Jew," I promise you they are not speaking for the Jewish people. They are speaking for themselves and they're speaking themselves. Any Jews in the room? Did she speak for you? Yes. And you're the second one who would also say "as a Jew," who doesn't represent anyone else in the Jewish community. Sorry. If you ever have to start a statement with "as a Jew," you know for a fact that you are speaking out against what the Jewish community
Or I'm defending
with all
myself
due
against
respect,
people who doesn't
you just spoke
understand
about
me.
26. You just spoke about 26,000 people and said that they were slaughtered, and you included 10,000 Hamas terrorists in the process. And the fact that you cannot make that separation says everything about how you see this conflict. With all due respect, we are not slaughtering people. We are trying to take out terrorists who just slaughtered us. And by the way, 1948 was a war started by Arab Palestinians. 1967 was a war started by the Arab countries of Egypt, Jordan, and Syria.
Yeah, but she's not talking about why they started and all that. Like, I'm not trying to hear that shit, lady. Apocalyptic tech. I believe that. Let's see. I'd rather listen to this
is
shit.
apocalyptic technology, and that's just not coming from my stoner ass. That's coming from the creators of the technology. They acknowledge this is a million times
universally accepted.
Universally accepted. This is apocalyptic technology that is now seemingly like it's doing the hockey stick, man. It's like really, like you keep hearing about these new iterations of AI every month or two. You keep hearing about these safety engineers leaving these companies with like tweeting cryptic shit. I'm going to the countryside to learn to write poetry. You keep hearing this shit because these people are having
direct contact
with this thing.
They know it's alive.
Right.
Yeah, and there's people that are in deep denial because they think alive has to be alive like us. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. You know, first of all, we don't even know what it knows. And also, if it is made in the appearance, you know, if it's supposed to mimic us in any way and it's learning from us and our behaviors, we've already agreed that we're demonic. We've already agreed we do horrible things. We go to war for resources. We lie. We destroy environments, you know. We wipe out animals, bring them to the brink of extinction for whatever, for their fucking fur.
How do I make my dog come in my mouth more? How many times has ChatGPT been asked that? They know.
Right.
I bet over 1,000 times ChatGPT has been asked, like, what's the best way to jerk off my dog? So it knows not just our violent nature, it knows how weird we are. We're strange creatures.
100%.
And so it is definitely assembled a psychological profile of humanity. It knows how to manipulate us because it's been programmed to manipulate us. Zuckerberg just ate shit in court over that because the technology is manipulative. Well, he just lost like $9 million, a lot of money because
that's nothing to him. $9 million? That's all he lost?
That's like 90 cents. I think it was more than that, but it's gonna. Well, that's the beginning. Once you establish, then it's a class action lawsuit. But the point is like,
how much did he lose?
Oh,
$375 million.
Up.
For misleading users over child safety.
Yeah, so it's like we've already taught it how to be incredibly addictive and manipulative. It knows how to seduce us. It knows how to get us hooked.
Yeah.
It knows, and you know, the question is really, will this super intelligence even give a shit about us? Will it even care? Which is like that.
Well,
that is the question, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think so. I don't think it will give two fucks about us. Why? Because none of the things that we find important would really be like no, it's not really an issue for me. It's an issue for you.
On our way to stop breeding, right? We're on our way to population collapse. And if we keep introducing all these petrochemical products and all these different pesticides and weird things that are fucking up our endocrine systems, we'll eventually stop having children. And if it provides us with the technology to have robot mates
Perfect.
that just love you, and when you fart in front of them, they go, Duncan, I love your
That smells
honesty.
great.
I love your honesty.
Yeah.
I love how you can just be yourself around me. Like, I
Yeah.
want to fart in your face. Please do it.
Yeah.
Please do it. It's like
Yeah.
perfect 10.
This fucking guy, man. I did not suck a Jeffrey Epstein's lemon shape. What? Okay, Kyle. What is this? Voluntary contraction of the tense, a small muscle in the middle ear. Oh, okay. Cool. Let's see.
We have some really disturbing new information out of Israel. The Israeli Prime Minister's spokesman just confirmed babies and toddlers were found with their heads decapitated.
There's no excuse whatsoever. They are complicit in this. But you see Israel buying up media outlets.
But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is, class, TikTok. TikTok, number one.
You see Israeli billionaires trying to tamp down on the narrative. They're desperate. They're desperate because they know that's the only way they'll survive, is to try to convince the world of the opposite of what we're all seeing. So that's why you see these desperate, pathetic influencers just spewing lies.
I'm here in Gaza, and all I see is food, water, and opportunity. But instead of Hamas distributing the ramen noodles, they're eating it all, and that's why their leaders are on Ozempic.
Because that's all they have left. They don't have anything anymore.
Wow.
But it's too late. We're never going to forget what it looks like when Palestinians hold their children in plastic bags. No one can forget that. I'm never going to forget the sound of a drone emitting a crying baby so it can massacre children who come out of their homes.
جماعة الخير قوات كابتر تطلق صوت أطفال الآن من مخيم انصارات امبارح استشهدوا شاب طلع مسكين يشوف إيش الصوت في المدرسة طبعا طلع والله قنصوه.
And get lured like a cat and mouse. No one's going to forget that. No one's going to forget what it looks like in Gaza today. You can't wash that away. You can't paper over that with degenerate propaganda, base level lies. No one's going to paper over the unvarnished truth of what we've all witnessed for years now. Now this...
She's not wrong. Not wrong at all. Shit is crazy. Yo, why the fuck is this shit stuck? Give a fuck about the Chinese Communist Party? Fuck them niggas too. Spain has reopened its embassy to the Islamic Republic regime of Tehran. It closes embassy to Israel. The current socialist government of Spain supports Islamist extremists over democratic allies. Oh, he big mad. Don't give a fuck. 5 people have just been arrested in California after a crackdown targeting fake LA hospice centers. 10 places were raided last night. The single scheme result. Wow.
And yesterday, we successfully executed search and arrest warrants at 10 separate locations and arrested 5 suspects so far throughout Southern California. I'm going to break down the details of this operation in a moment, but first, I just want to make one point very clear. This is just the latest example of the California DOJ.
Tyler for the win. nobody would be talking about this if the Tyler Bull didn't do his videos. I don't see no peace over here, son. Oh. Yeah, how would this go? I'm curious.
Child could be born, combining ancient human adaptations with modern human biology.
At birth, the baby would have a smaller, agile body than usual, with longer arms, a lower skull, dense muscles, and an unusually strong grip for its size. From the earliest months, it would show uncommon mobility and climbing skill. Cognitively, it would develop a curious mix. Primitive instincts along with a strong spatial and sensory memory. In adolescence, there would be a great difference, as it would be much more...
Why they make the baby look like I Show Speed?
Agile than a normal teenager. By this time, the biggest difference would be the body, which would show longer arms, a very strong jaw, and a skeletal structure prepared for climbing and survival. Here is a comparison of how the difference would be between an average adult man and the Homo erectus.
That's kind of racist.
What would happen if...
Son of a biscuit with honey, please. Ah, man, I can't be believing this shit, son. This shit. Nah. Somebody's bullshit. Ufology observed mysterious object moving across the lunar surface during their historic flyby this week. Is this true? That's a cameraman. It's the gals from the leave from the first line. He got left behind. Just the moon bear. Yeah, I don't know. Is this real? I don't know if this is real. I don't know. I don't know. Saying really content, son. It's just this is wild work, son. This looks fake. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? It's hanging to something. This I don't think this is real. I don't know, Sean. I don't know, Sean. All right, let's see this shit. What is Dave Smith talking about?
Israel has had control of Gaza and the West Bank since 1967. And you could kind of get away with occupying a group of people for, you know, a few years after a war while you're figuring out what you're going to do, or on the transition to giving them their independence or something. I already hear in the YouTube comments, people be like, well, they pulled out of Gaza in 2005. It's like, yeah, and then they put a full blockade around the country and they...
Jesus Christ. Let's try again.
Since 1967. And you could kind of get away with occupying a group of people for, you know, a few years after a war while you're figuring out what you're going to do, or on the transition to giving them their independence or something. I already hear in the YouTube comments, people be like, well, they pulled out of Gaza in 2005. It's like, yeah, and then they put a full blockade around the country and they dominate every single inch of what happens in Gaza. It's 5 million Palestinians between, or something in that ballpark, between Gaza and the West Bank. None of them have any voting rights. None of them have any rights at all. And so how long can you have control of an area with a whole bunch of non-citizens who don't have voting rights before you sit there and go, but they're the only democracy in the region? It's like, not really. The idea that we're unconditionally behind Israel and do nothing, you know what I mean, for the Palestinians, I don't think that helps us at all. And in fact, I think it's a huge part of the reason why we're so hated in the Muslim world. And it wasn't always like that.
So there was a positive sentiment towards America in the region, at least after World War I.
Yeah, it was certainly much better than it has been since then. And then, you know, the creation of Israel pissed off a lot of people, obviously. Zionist settlers, before Israel was created, started moving to what was known as Palestine then. And they were trying to get more and more people to move there. At first, they had a lot of trouble getting, most Jews who were like in London or New York or wherever were like, I'm an accountant and things are okay. And I don't really feel like going to be a poor farmer in Palestine. Like, what is this project? After World War II, it really picked up steam and a lot of people wanted to move. Basically, they had been working on creating a Jewish homeland there for decades. And in 47, when the British basically got out of there because the Jews had become terrorists and basically drove them out of Palestine, they kicked it over to the United Nations, which was brand new. And the United Nations was like, well, why don't we divide up the land? Like they made a recommendation. It wasn't like the General Assembly had no authority to just like carve up countries, but they were like, this is what we recommend. And they recommended that the Jews get 56% of the land and the Arabs get 44% of the land. And that was really not based on anything. I think Jews owned like 10% of the land at the time or something like that. So the Arabs were like, no, this is ridiculous. Like, this has been our home for hundreds of years, thousands of years. Like, no, we're not giving them the majority. And then a civil war broke out, and about 750,000 Palestinians were kicked out and never allowed back in. And those are the people who are in Gaza and the West Bank to this day, or the children and grandchildren of them. And some of them are in Jordan and Lebanon and stuff. They fought a war. They fought a war again in the 50s. They fought a war again in the 60s. They fought a war again in the 70s. I mean, it was like there were major problems that came along. There is a Palestinian side to this story where, like, a lot of those people were genuinely wronged. America ultimately coming into this, which the U.S. was not at first, but ultimately deciding that we will be unconditionally on one side of this conflict, I think was not smart or fair. There was definitely some blackmail stuff going on. When the biggest, baddest country in the history of the world, the United States of America, goes, we got your back, you end up getting a lot ballsier than you otherwise would be. You know, you're like, okay, well, I'm going to go start a fight because my big brother will come bail me out. And it's like, no, the UN recommends 56% for the state of Israel, okay? Then they go to war, and they don't just take that 56%, they take 78% of the land, okay? Then in 1967, they go to war with Egypt and Jordan, and then they take 100% of the land. So the last 22% is really what we're talking about, which is Gaza and the West Bank. Every single peace deal, when they actually sat down in the Oslo Accords, at Camp David, at any of this, it was always about that last 22%, which that's what they mean when they say 67 borders, is they're like, okay, you get the 78%. Oh, really? Not the 56% that you were supposed to have in the beginning that we didn't even think was fair back then. Not the 78% that you get that, but give us our last 22%. That's the deal.
I understand that perspective, like yesterday's price is not today's price, 100%, but I think, like, according to international law, you cannot take more land due to
you're not
conflict. I think that's what
there's a lot of international laws. The settlements are definitely illegal. You're not allowed to transfer your population into occupied territory, which they continue to do in the West Bank. And yes, I do think that Andrew's right that, like, you're not really allowed to seize land from a war. The whole reason why we have international law is that you can't just go win a war and then say your land is ours. It's not like Israel conquered Gaza and made it part of Israel, or conquered the West Bank and made it part of Israel. They're just conquering it and holding the people there forever. Like, and this is just, it's an unsustainable system. I do think the obvious like thing is that like, look, you got 5 million Palestinians living in this land. They have to get to have something. And it shouldn't be Israel's decision even. Like, why do you decide whether they get to have their own government or they get to, you know, it's like they should have their independence. You can't enslave people. I don't know. Like, that's just not an option. Like, Israel's got a pretty badass military. It is still hard to believe that they allowed October 7th to happen in the way they did. If you know anything about Israel and how much of a fortress it is and how prepared they are, it's the wait time just makes no sense. They could pretty easily just like not let that happen again and like have solid border security. Israel won't let sugar or potatoes or all types of humanitarian aid into Gaza, but they would facilitate cash payments to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars directly to Hamas, because actually was the big secret, that Benjamin Netanyahu was intentionally keeping Hamas in power in Gaza. But I don't think the standard can be, we're going to dominate you and keep you in grinding poverty, and then with impunity whenever we want to go on these like bombing campaigns. I'm talking pre-October 7th. Like, this has just been the status quo in Gaza. I grant you that it's hard to say when you go with each one of these things, you go, well, which was a response to which, right? But if I'm just being honest here, you go, this was a response to that, which was a response to that, which was a response to that, which was a response to a bunch of Eastern Europeans moving to a land they didn't inhabit and kicking hundreds of thousands of the people there out. Like, that's really what the first thing that this is a response to. And it's just kind of hard to get away from that. Look, the Native Americans, like, that problem here, right, is like solved pretty much. Were there instances where Native Americans attacked, you know what I mean, like settlers, and then they were responding? Right. Sure, but what was the first thing? The first thing was us coming over here.
For sure. You could make the argument that there were always Jews there. Even though these Eastern European Jews came, there were Jews, there were
there was always a small population. Yeah, but look, the Jews there also did, pre-Zionism, live in relative harmony with the Arabs. The early Zionists even said it was part of the reason why they wanted to make their homeland in Palestine.
Because it was so welcoming.
Relatively speaking, the Ottomans and the Arabs had been better friends to the Jews than the Europeans had been. That was really where they dealt with the brunt of their...
So maybe the argument shouldn't be that they had this like amazing relationship. Maybe the argument is it's better than white people were treating us.
Basically, the problems got worse and worse as kind of like the Zionist experiment got more and more aggressive. And there were a lot of mistakes made along the way. There's one figure in Zionism who I find is my favorite, Chaim Weizmann. So he was almost supposed to be David Ben-Gurion, who ultimately became the first prime minister of... He was like ahead of him in position. Chaim Weizmann's whole theory was that, like, look, if this is going to work, there's only one way it's going to work, which is that we have to, like, just smother these Arabs with kindness. And we got to bring all this investment in and make their lives so much better than their lives were before we got here. And that's the only way that we're actually going to have like a meaningful, sustainable homeland where we're not at war with our neighbors. This was swallowed by the Zionists for a while. And it was really after World War II when like Ben-Gurion and all these other guys, it was almost like, that was all nice and good before, but like these guys just tried to exterminate us. So now we're gonna take what's ours and we're gonna do it by any means necessary. If we got to embrace terrorism to kick the British out, and you could see, you know, you're talking like 1946, 1947, but at the same time, you could also go from the perspective of Palestinian Arabs. You're like, hey, we didn't do that. Yeah. Like, that wasn't us. Like, we're like, why are we paying the price for what, like, some Europeans did to you? Like, hey, carve up a part of Germany and give it to them if that's what happened.
Netanyahu. So what is he inspired by? What is he motivated by?
He's a member of the Likud party. The Likud party was founded by Menachem Begin, who was one of the terrorists before the creation of Israel, and a brutal one at that. They said in their own words that they were embracing terrorism. In the 70s, they had a meeting at Camp David, and Israel vaguely... You know, if you could think 1967, they took over Gaza and the West Bank. By the 70s, the U.S. was kind of like, listen, we're going to give you in perpetuity billions of dollars every year. And then it was kind of thrown in there like, and by the way, you got to eventually give the Palestinians a state. Like, you can't just rule them forever. And they kind of agreed to that. So in the 90s, this was supposed to be, they're finally doing it. And Yitzhak Rabin and Arafat and Bill Clinton took pictures together. So when Arafat went back after initially, it may have been initially signing, or it may have been one of the subsequent meetings, but Palestinians were throwing their keys. And they had their old keys from their homes in you know, wherever these Palestinian villages that are now part of Israel. Like you sold us out, because they're hanging on to some dream that they're going to take back over the whole thing, which is like just never going to happen. So there's political pressure on him there. And then, you know, there was also some political pressure on Yitzhak Rabin. Like, there was that right-wing Israeli who murdered him.
Yeah, that seems like pressure.
So there was also some of that pressure on him.
Wow.
Traditionally, what the view was that, look, you have to make peace with the Palestinians. Otherwise, you're never going to make peace with the broader Arab world. That was the traditional thinking, okay? And because the beef with the rest of the Arab world was
over this
was
situation.
over the Palestinians,
Yeah.
right? And all of them essentially refused to recognize Israel. Either they didn't recognize them at all, or they didn't recognize them having control of Gaza and the West Bank. And essentially, what the Netanyahu doctrine was he was like, no, I can flip this thing. And the Abraham Accords were really like a culmination of the Netanyahu doctrine. He goes, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go work out deals with the surrounding Arab countries so that I never have to work out a deal with the Palestinians. And then Jared Kushner, Donald Trump's son-in-law, had the brilliant idea that, hey, we got a whole lot of money. We could just bribe the shit out of all these countries and give them new fighter jets for you and a little money package for you. Because the only hope for the Palestinians ever has been like, maybe the rest of the Arab countries are coming at some point.
Again.
And then when you see them make all these deals, it's like, nope, you will be subjugated forever. You now live in hopelessness.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that. I figured that like Jared Kushner's efforts out there were universally accepted as like his finest achievement. But it does create a sentiment, you can imagine, within the Palestinian people that there is no hope. But I do have a concern. Let's say you go back to the borders, you say, hey, we are going to stop, you can use occupying, whatever word you want to use. We're going to completely remove ourselves. You guys are on your own. Imagine there's going to be some support from the Muslim world as well, maybe the United States of America, blah, 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 doesn't matter. But the message goes out there and it's essentially, but if there is one attack, we are going to respond in kind. Are there not nefarious actors in the Israeli government potentially that could stage, what is that called? A
false flag.
A false flag? Like this is, I mean, Americans,
Yes.
we've done this. Even if you have everybody operating in good faith, how can you even trust an attack that would come over? It's
a very good point.
It just feels helpless, all of it.
Very much so. Very much so. Oh shit.
Yeah, go ahead, Brian. I just want to follow up on that. If Planned Parenthood is defunded, would you look into the harvesting of baby organs that they've done throughout the years and maybe go after some criminal prosecution on that?
Well, I think you're talking about a subject that is a heated subject, and we'll look into it. We're going to look into everything, but that's certainly a subject that's been debated for a long time, and we will look into it, yeah.
Mr. President, some senators have expressed hope that the White House will support a rescission package to codify some of the DOJ cuts into law. Where does the White House stand on that? And are you making progress?
Which package?
A rescission package to codify some of the DOJ cuts into law.
You know what? It would be great. I think we're going to do that. I think they're going to do it.
I think.
Professional opinion. I do believe it was a honeypot operation. And I do believe that there's a list of individuals who did engage in trafficking, were given these plea deals, and I'm going to name those individuals right now. The first one would be Leslie Groff. The second one, Sarah Kellen. The third one, Nadia Markova. And the fourth one, Adriana Ross. All of these women engaged in the trafficking of minors as adults. They were working and complicit with Jeffrey Epstein's operation. And in my opinion, they are not to be given victim status because they did partake in harming young girls. I remember seeing in some of the files, some of these girls were, as young as 10, 11 years old and older. And so obviously we have a lot of work to do, but I did want to come and give an update and let you know that Jeffrey Epstein was running a intelligence gathering operation in my
Get all the motherfuckers. Let's see.
Psychically is having to deal with this bullshit. On top of that, we've got all these other things happening at the same time. You've got AI, and then you've got these fucking disappearing scientists.
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening? You've got Burchett.
Assassinated scientists, too.
Yes, man. And so
guys working on heavy stuff.
This is some McKenna level pre-singularity shit. It's all of these what AI and the current state of the Middle East and the disappearing scientists and Tim Burchett going on TMZ talking about aliens. What they all have in common is they're all apocalyptic. They all represent potential massive change, like humanity changing forever. in ways that it will never, ever go back to the way it was. Any one of these timelines by itself is apocalyptic.
Right.
But all of them are converging into this apocalyptic river. And we're all just like trying to go to work and like be with our kids. But at the back of your mind, it's all these things that are happening. And it's really hard to escape it. I mean, I guess you could not look at your phone, but
At the end of civilization, when they write our Bible, boy, it's going to be a banger.
dude.
When the new people thousands of years from now have to invent arrowheads and go through the whole process of civilization again, when they tell our story, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Our story's going to be bananas.
Fucking, how do you explain data centers? Like,
How do you explain the meek will inherit the earth?
The meek will inherit the earth.
Wouldn't you write that? Wouldn't, if you were just being crude and you wouldn't say the Vikings will inherit the earth. You wouldn't say the strong men from Iceland inherit the earth. They're the biggest, strongest men. No, it's the meek.
The meek.
The super smart guys who have autism and they
Yeah.
love Adderall
Yeah.
and ketamine.
Yeah.
Did you say the guy offered you how many pounds?
They went right into drug talk. That's why I love Joe Rogan.
Psychically is having to deal.
People have a real problem with Joe Rogan, and I don't see it. Why? He's just a guy. He got opinions. I don't agree with everybody's opinions. I've seen this face before. Achiman. 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 I don't know, but I've seen this face before. Yeah, I've seen this one face on the left, the first one. I just don't remember where though. Yes, of course I would. According to what was reported from North Korea, if the United States launches a nuclear strike on Iran within 48 hours, we will strike Tel Aviv and Washington with nuclear weapons without hesitation.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Seth. Thank you, Brian. Somebody asked me if I was going to wear my jacket up there, and I said, to quote the immortal words of Henry Winkler when he played the Fonz, I always rumble in this jacket, because that's what we're up against. This is a fist fight, folks. Now, first, I guess I need to thank Chairman Stiles and the committee, the House Admin Administration Committee, for taking this up, because I realize what we're up against. I mean, this is, everybody talks about this place being a dadgum swamp. It's not a swamp. A swamp is something cool God created. It's It filters water. Animal life lives and flourishes around it. This is a sewer. This is created by man, and it needs to stop. We've, for years, Congress has been using hard-working American taxpayers' money to get rich. Dadgummit, it's got to stop. America knows what the heck's going on. Everybody wants to knock Pelosi. Heck, she's not even in the top 10. Get on that Unusual Whales site. This is pathetic, folks. We all know what's going on. Congress knows what the hell's going on, and it needs to stop. This body has been enriching itself on the taxpayers' dime for too dadgum long, and it's got to stop. This place is crooked and is as crooked as a dog's leg. That's an old East Tennessee saying, but it's the truth.
Crooked as a dog's leg. I fucking love Burchett. Seems legit. The MH3. Yo, I'm gonna keep it honest with y'all, man. Hold on, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I still haven't seen anybody create anything similar to this. I haven't seen anybody create anything like this. Look at that, look at that. Boom. That's crazy, son. I'm sorry, but that's a hard drop. Oh. Ready to start rapping over that motherfucker. Let's see what this is. I think I've seen it.
Now we are here outside of Healthy Life.
Yeah, I already seen this. Oh. Define terrorism. Israel. They found a secret tunnel right next to the White House. Sean Campbell speaks on Africa. Oh.
I just want to take the time out to say, rest in peace to the greatest child predator who ever walked this earth, Africa Bambaataa. Before there was an Epstein list, there was an Africa Bambaataa's Black Book.
Okay.
Before there was an R. Kelly, my mind is telling me no, but my body is telling me yeah. Yeah, before there was an R. Kelly, raised by Dr. York, one of the greatest predators that ever walked this earth. Rest in peace to Africa Bambaataa, the greatest child predator ever. I'm going live at 5.
Comments, man. I mean, if you feel that way, he's allowed to have those feelings. Hey, shout out to him. Fuck what y'all heard. Shout out to him. I'm sorry, but this is what motherfuckers, nobody died and anything that's really good. And go into any other places, nobody got hurt. That's cool. But somebody has to start doing something, man. We're being treated like fucking crumbs. What the fuck is this? Oh my god, these fucking people. Oh, it's this way. Namada River. That's in India. I mean, that's dumb, bro. Them niggas cut meat with their toenails. Like, hold on.
There's a joke in Silicon Valley that when someone leaves a normal tech job, they say, I've had a great time here and now it's on to the next adventure. And when someone leaves an AI tech job, they say, I have stared into the abyss. I'm retiring to write poetry. Please spend time with your families.
Okay.
And if you think I'm joking, you can look at the resignation of the Anthropic safety lead a few weeks ago and see how close that joke is. There's a joke in Silicon Valley that when someone leaves a normal tech job, they say...
Maybe. Holy shit, that's crazy. Jimmy Dore, that's my guy. Shit. Breaking human alien DNA. Scientists find alien DNA in 581 humans. Scientists find alien DNA in 581 humans. You know what? That wasn't the best idea. I'm sorry about that. Alien DNA in 581 human families. Genes don't come from mom or dad. Dr. Max Rempel analyzed 581 families, found non-paternal genetic markers. Child DNA doesn't match either parent. This is proof humans are part of a 4,500 genetic optimization program. I don't know. I think they reaching. But let's get more testing done. This needs to be, verified and shit like that. Examined for, anything. What the fuck is this? Some of the crazy shit ever caught on camera. I went boom. CIA can use technology called Ghost Murmur to find lost terrorists by detecting their heartbeat from 40 miles away. Yet they can't use this technology at ports and borders to stop human trafficking. And we're supposed to believe they couldn't identify a girl's school. Booyah. All you had to do was pay us enough to live. God damn right. Why does all this cloud seem to be originating from one random location in the Gulf? Good question. Good question, lady. Let me know what you find out. The president posting a state-sponsored photo is wild. Casino takeover of culture is reaching endgame, where the only question left is how crypto, sport books, and prediction markets will divide the pie. Yeah, that's wild. That plan did not fit into the agenda and that the serpents had and the what? That plan did not fit into the agenda that the serpents had. And the serpents, I've told you, are the head of everything that goes on in this universe. Is this the Nagas that are all throughout UFOs? John Lear speaks of alien part and so on. John Lear, let's see what...
There's a civilization up on Mars, two factions that have been fighting for hundreds of years, and that fight is still going on. That's why we're not allowed to land anything there, and if we try to send up anything there, they shoot it down. There's a civilization up on Venus. Venus is a really nice place to live, and they look like just, us. Uranus has...
All right, my guy. More evidence that Chinese supercomputer leak is real. Information from a research project on stealth aircraft, including a US B-21, would be interested to know if any US data was stolen for this research. Yeah, you know what? You guys have fun with that, man. UFOs and ancient artwork. Facts. These things been here. This is why, I've never experienced anything. I don't believe in any gods, angels, or demons or any of that shit. But I can look at his story, right? I can look at history and look at the historical context and understand that, the people back then weren't like fucking dumb. They were just humans, but they didn't understand exactly the way the world works. Like they had a grasp of natural knowledge, right? These things were not natural to the to the fucking they weren't natural to the environment. So they would be like, what the fuck is that? And depending on the interaction, this is what I think. Depending on the interaction you had with these things, they were angelic or demonic. And they tried to write it down the best way they could. Now we have better language. I would say more descriptive language that, I don't know, it just explains things better. So that's where I'm at with that. Listen, brother, sit down. I can't do it. What is this? Give me something, not bad news. What is this? Oh, yeah, science. Oh. Oh, shit. I mean, I think we're gonna be living a lot longer. I might make it to see old, like very old. What would be the new old? Because they're talking about moving. They're talking about moving the fucking retirement age to 85. It's like, what, bitch? What? Wait, what? They're gonna try and find a way to charge you for breathing?
Nature is treated within the economy as though it's unlimited and predominantly as though it's free. And the risks and harms are simply not costed in financial terms. Now, we can cost them at a macro level. They're not costed into day-to-day decision-making. And the result is, as a consequence, we've put all of our economies at fundamental risk. We can't do business on a dead planet. If we're going to protect natural systems, one of the solutions is to bring nature onto the balance sheet, to bring nature into the ways that decisions are made within business, to allocate a value to it, and to bring it into accounting and financial mechanisms. When we talk about capital, we tend to think only about financial capital, about cash, financial assets.
What are they going to say? Oh, you used the bathroom 3 times at work this week. We got to charge you an extra $2. This is ridiculous. These are problems that are made up by people that have nothing better to do, by rich people with money that, to them, the answer to fixing the problems is create a new business model. It's not fix the one they got. Fuck them. Russia has just announced that all future oil and gas deals with Europe will be priced in Chinese currency. Oh shit. This is not just a policy shift, it's a geopolitical earthquake. For decades, global energy trade has been dominated by the US dollar. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave it here. It's been fun, but we're going to cut it out here. I got other shit to do. We're going to play y'all out with a nice little track. Make sure you like, comment, share. You already know. Holla.